Okay guys, we got an interesting one here. So I got this 2012 Acura TL. I guess you guys can probably barely see, but it's 2012 Acura TL, and they said the battery dies every 2 days, and I had them bring it to the shop so I could do it, and it looks like the battery died now. So I'm gonna jumpstart this and we'll get it in the shop and we'll charge the battery up, and then we'll see if we can find what's killing the battery. Okay guys, I got my jumper cable set up. You guys probably can't see. We're charging at like 20 amps or so, so I'm gonna let this sit here for a little bit, a couple minutes, and we'll see if we can get this car to start, because this battery's bone dead and I don't feel like carrying my big jumper cables out. Okay guys, so I got the car in here. So now what we want to do is we want to check all the fuse panels. So we'll take this off. Okay, good, there's fuses. I was thought maybe that'd be just for relays. Got the battery charger on nuclear, trying to get this charged back up, because I don't want to be here all night. So look at that, we're charging at like 40 amps. This was a brand new battery that was in here. Now it did last like 2 days outside without dying, so. Okay, so we'll get them visible. And let's quickly look to see if there's any inside. And I'm kind of curious though, like can a seatbelt being buckled all the time cause it to where it thinks somebody's in the car? Okay, so there's fuses under here. Let's see, can we make... Okay, this is the door ajar switch, so I wonder if I can get one of my clamps and just clamp this closed so it thinks the door is closed, and we'll trip the latch just in case. Okay guys, so I put a clamp over the door switch right here. There's a switch, and I put a washer there so it would hit it. So if we lock this and it sees the switch closed, the lights will flash and everything. There we go. Because if it didn't think it was locked, it would just not do anything when you press lock when the door's open. Now also I probably want to trip this hood. So let me trip this hood real quick. Okay guys, so let's lock this again. Hear that beep? That means it thinks everything's closed. Because if we have that tripped, it doesn't beep. So now we should be good. So I'm going to set this over on the workbench away from the car, and we'll just let this sit here and charge for a little bit, and then we'll check the draw. Let's see what our draw is right now. I mean, we're charging at 30 amps, so that's good. Okay guys, so here's the issue. Look at that. 0.88, almost like 0.9 amps. So it's almost like 1 amp, guys, we got going through here. So this is the Lisle kit. I use this a lot because this meter is capable of 20 amps. I have a 10 amp fuse in here. I should probably put like a 15. They say that this is only rated for I think they actually rated it. I want to say that there was 7.5 amp fuse that was in here before, but I kept blowing it. Or maybe there's a 7.5 amp in this side, and the other side, oh, this one's a 7.5. Because I'm really thinking about just putting bigger fuses in here for draws and stuff so you can open doors without blowing fuses. But anyway, yeah, we're at like 0.8, 0.9. The car's still locked. Haven't touched the car. So I'm gonna see if I can find anything with my thermal camera, but I don't think we're gonna see anything right now. I'm just curious why we got such a high draw. I looked around to see if there was anything in the car, like anything plugged in. We have this USB cable right here, but this USB cable is just going to the USB port under here. There's a USB port right there, so it's not like a car charger, because before he had a charger in here, and I wasn't sure if that was doing it. But this car was wrecked pretty bad. Like this whole back window right here was damaged. So I don't know if maybe water got into something. Like this whole thing was like caved down. This whole thing was repainted. So I don't know if maybe something got wet in the trunk and something's awake, but we need to find out where the power's going. So we do have some direction. Like when I went to the guy's house, and I had diagnosed this. Well, I didn't really diagnose it. I just confirmed that there was a draw, because it was about this draw when I was at his house using my amp clamp. And I told him, you just gotta get it to the shop so I can mess with it at night. But looks like you might be low on coolant too. It doesn't look like there's anything in this jug right here. It's really low. I'll have to tell him about that. But we'll see if we can figure this out and see it is a new battery, 920. So yeah, I'll get my thermal camera and I'll do some looking. If I find anything interesting, I'll show you guys, because this is going to take a while, I'm sure. Oh guys, I forgot to mention, I actually said this was the wrong car. This is a 2015 Acura TLX. I was thinking it was a 2012 because this guy has like 3 Acuras or something like that. So I came up here and I was actually questioning this because I kept seeing this. So I come up here with the thermal camera and look at that. See how that one's like bright? And I kept going up to this, like, see this one's green down here? This one up here is like that green or aqua color. See, this one ain't a different color. Like, none of them are really a different color in here once this normalizes. Like, that one's slightly different. There you go, see it went purple. And I did notice that this one right here that's missing has pins, and it shows like a headlight symbol right there, but I'm not too worried about that. Now, this guy, I completely forgot about this till I was looking at this. See how that one's like brighter? So this guy complained that the rear defroster don't work, okay? So you see how that one's hotter than the rest of the car? See if I can get a good photo of this. See if we can get like a different angle where it shows up better. Okay, so this colored one, this one that's glowing right here, happens. There you go, look at that. Happens to be, looks like the rear defroster. Now I haven't tried pulling this out yet. So look at our current. Our current's still 0.87. Okay, so we're gonna pull this. Maybe. And we didn't drop any. Man, I was really hoping that that was gonna be it. That sucked, so I just took all those photos for no reason. Interesting. Or was I looking at this backwards? No, I'm looking at this right. That says rear defroster. So now I question like what it is, because nothing is hot in here. Look how hot that is now that I touched it. Like nothing is hot in here. Like you'll see some shininess from the metal, and I looked underneath the hood. I mean underneath the dash, and I didn't see anything. I'm not sure what to do here. Like we could try to measure voltage drop over the fuses and stuff, but I don't think that'll help. Like I came under here, like everything, nothing sticks out. Look, I tried getting up close to this, and everything's at like 49 degrees. I was hoping something would stick out. Like everything is like that. Then I tried looking at like the instrument cluster. That's all same color. The dash is all same color. You gotta watch. Shiny surfaces make it look hot, but like nothing. Now I did not look at the rear defroster, but man, like I don't know if like almost an amp would be enough of a draw to even really heat it up. But the fact that he complained about it, I don't know what else to do. The only other thing that I can think of is start pulling fuses, but I don't like to pull fuses on newer cars. Like I could go down them and try to do like a voltage drop. The only other thing that I could think of is, well, like, I don't even know, because if the relay was stuck on, If the relay was stuck on, it would be clicking. Unless it failed. Yeah, but even if it was on, like, we'd be completing the circuit. So I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit. I just really don't want to be sitting here pulling fuses and then waking stuff up, because that's what's gonna happen, is we're gonna wake stuff up. Now I guess I could look at the main powers and grounds, well, main power, and we could see if there's anything on there. Okay guys, so the car goes to sleep pretty quickly. I popped the trunk. Didn't find anything in the trunk, because I was wondering if like maybe a dome light was staying on, because like 1 amp is like the draw of a light, but I don't see anything. Like you can see the glass in here from when the back was broke, but like this is hanging down here, so I wonder if this all got wet in here. Like I really wonder if we got a bad module, because like look how much this is like hanging down. I don't think it's supposed to be hanging down like that, because it probably got wet. So I think the only thing that we can do, really, besides like amp clamping everything, is just sit here, quick pull fuses, see what happens. It's either going to work or it's not. So I'm going to go down these one by one and pull them, and I'll let you know if I find one where our current drops. Hey guys, I pulled the 10 amp fuse right here. There's the second fuse I pulled. And let's see, which one is this? Oh, I'm sorry, it's the very bottom one, because I pulled the 7.5 first, then I pulled the very bottom one, which says backup. And our draw cut in half. Let's put this back in. Let's see if it goes up. Interesting, it didn't go back up. Is it in all the way? Oh, there we go. Look at that, our draw's back up. So when I pull this, watch this, we'll pull it out again. Watch our draw. Boom, we're in half. That's pretty interesting. So back up. So I'm going to keep going through these and we'll see if any other ones drop. Okay guys, so none of the other ones made any difference but this backup. Let's see, boom, half. I wonder what would happen if we leave that out. I'm going to look up, see what backup means in there. I don't know if that's backup camera or if that's like something else, but I want to give this a couple minutes, see if this actually goes to sleep or something. And actually we could take our thermal camera, we can look at this backup camera, see if the backup camera's hot. Oops. Doesn't look hot, so I don't think it's from that. We'll just have to find out what backup means. Okay guys, so look at this. So our fuse 29 right here goes to this, where was it, right here, this MICU unit, which then feeds wires down to, one goes to our center display unit, and then if we come over, the other one goes to this junction box and then goes to our audio unit and navigation unit. And then the other one comes to this junction box, which just goes to our active sound control unit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go underneath the hood, underneath the dash, and I'll just pull a couple fuses there and see if we can get this to drop down lower, because it's been what, like 10 minutes now and we're still up in current. Okay guys, so I pulled I think it was this 10 amp one right here, and our current dropped down to 0.35. I think it was this one. It's probably not gonna make a difference now, so we gotta look, see which one this one is. Which one's underneath all the 20s? So it's 20 and then 110. That's 35. It's 25. So it'd be 31. What is 31 over here? Smart. So we'll have to see what smart is. I don't know, I'm going to keep continuing and see if we can drop this down even lower. Okay guys, I found our draw. So see how we're at 26? It's lower now, but watch this. So if I pull this one out, watch our draw. Boom. 0.07. 0.03, and now we have no draw. I need to find out what this fuse right here does. This is an auxiliary fuse, and the fuse was in here upside down. So I think somebody was in here. So if I put this back in, look at that. Really need to find out what this one does. I don't know if this has a number. No, it doesn't. We're gonna have to find some information on this. I wonder if we could put our other one back in up front. If this was causing our whole draw. Let's see. Let's put this back in. Let's take this one. Put our fuse back in. It says half an amp. I'll let this sit here for a little bit. We'll see if it goes away. If it doesn't, then we look at that. So we need to find out what's on this circuit. That's high yet. Hopefully that'll go down. It might go down. It might be going into some kind of standby mode right now. Oh, look at that. Boom. We found our draw. It's that fuse. I don't know why it wasn't lighting up with our camera. Okay guys, so our fuse right here that we pulled is this FD 10 amp, okay? This comes down as white wire, and then it feeds the hands-free link control unit, the active sound control unit, automatic lighting rain sensor, and steering commander switch assembly. Now I tried getting to the rain sensor, but I don't know how to get the plastic cover off. So this active sound control unit is underneath the dash on the passenger side. So I'm going to see if I can pull that out, because it looked like it was like 3 screws or whatever. We can get to it. And I'm going to put the fuse back in, and we'll see if our draw goes away. And we'll just try to narrow it down that way. Okay guys, so here's our active sound control unit. I unplugged it. Right here is just one connector. And we'll see if their draw goes away. I locked the car door up. Car up. Let's see. It's a little rough. I didn't even have to unscrew anything. He just pulled down that panel. And we still have our draw. So at least it looks like we still have our draw. I'll give it a couple more minutes, but I have a feeling our draw is going to stay there. And then we'll just have to go to one of the other options. See which other one's easier. I have a feeling that the rain sensor is probably going to be the easiest guy, but I got to figure out how to get that plastic cover off. Okay guys, so here's our draw right now. So I was able to get the cover off of the camera setup up here. So here's the plastic cover. You had to remove this piece first, and then you could take the rest of it off. So here's our camera for the front, and then our rain sensor should be right here. So we need to get this off. So I'm going to use both hands real quick, and we'll take this off. Okay guys, we got our rain sensor unplugged right there. At least that should be the rain sensor. Let's go. Let's go check our draw. Our draw is still up there, guys. So that only leaves one other thing. Oh, well, 2 other things. We got... what else on here? We got the hands-free control unit and the steering commander switch assembly. So let's see where this hands-free or the switch assembly. I wonder if this is I wonder if that's the whole switch assembly on the steering wheel. Now guys, I could be completely wrong with this, but I think I might go after the steering wheel switch assembly just because the car was wrecked before. So I'm gonna quick pull off it looks like a bunch of Torx that hold it on, so I don't know. Let's see if that's easy to get off. Okay guys, so I got the steering wheel, well, the airbag off. It was just 2 screws on the sides. See, goes through there, well, from the outside. Let's see. Where are you guys at? Oh, there's one. There's one on each side. That's all it is. So we're gonna take this connector off in the inside right here. We'll see if our draw goes down. So I'll get that disconnected and we'll see if it moves. Another thing that I noticed is it looks like there's corrosion in here. See that? So I wonder if water was getting in here. What are the chances of our draw going down to nothing? Well, guys, we're striking out. It's always the hands-free control module, guys. Always. That's the only thing we have left. It's the only thing we have left. Because I think all these go through that connector. Yeah, they all go through that connector. So that connector is disconnected. So now we need to find the hands-free. Guys, you'll never believe this. I don't know how I missed it, but the telemetrics control module is right where I was at, I think. Because it says remove glove box. And it shows 3 connectors. And I am pretty sure that's the one that's in the glove box. Okay guys, so here's our draw. Let's come down here. I didn't even look down here yet. We got 3 connectors though. I see one with 2. I don't see a 3 connector one. Oh, is that it? There we go, guys. That's it. Let's see. There we go. Let's see if we get stuck in here. Let's set the alarm off. How do we still have a draw? We unplugged all of them on that fuse. Unless the diagram's wrong. We unplugged everything. Let me go look at the diagram again. But I think we got, that's 4. We got that up there, the steering wheel, that, and unless the fuse is wrong. So guys, this has to be the right fuse box, or like right wiring diagram, because we got 7.5, 15, 7.5, 10, 7.5. So every other one's a 7.5. So if we come over to here, we got, see how we have the 7.5, then a 15. So if we go FG, 7.5, okay, FF is 15, which is matching up. So if we go, because they're labeled A, B, C, D, E, F. So if we go FE, 7.5, which is next, and then our FD, which will come right after that, which is our 10, which is our draw. So if we pull this one out again, our draw should go away. Unless we got a new draw. And our draw is gone. Look at that. Now it's dropping down. And it'll eventually go completely away. So we need to figure out what the heck is on this. Look, I wish I could see the wires. I wonder if I can pop this down here so we can see the wires and make sure our colors are right. Then we know our diagram's right. So I didn't just waste a whole bunch of my time. Okay guys, so I pulled this down. Look, there's 2 wires on here. There's 2 white wires and a blue one. That's not what's on the diagram. They don't show 2 wires coming out of there. So now we gotta figure out why we have 2 wires coming out. Maybe there's another device that's on here that isn't listed. Or maybe it's backfeeding. That's crazy. Because we could have an issue where I just don't know. This is odd. Why doesn't it show these on there? We get the amp clamp, come in here, see if there's current on one and not the other, and then see. We could always like deep pin it, or we could deep pin it, or we could cut one of them and see if something else in the car doesn't work or communicate then. Well guys, there has to be something I'm missing because we still got the draw and everything's disconnected. I even disconnected all the stuff here for the clock spring because I'm like, I wonder if maybe the clock spring's messed up. So it has to be something. Has to be something else on this circuit. We're gonna have to like measure the current down there then. I'm gonna put most of this stuff back together because we know where it's not now. But this is just crazy that like there's a draw on this circuit and like I took all this stuff apart and it's still there. Like the diagram has to be wrong. Something's not right. It's not adding up. Okay guys, so I got the car back in. It's a Parasitic draw. Now I replaced my fuse in here. It has a 500 milliamp fuse that's in here. I replaced it because I actually had a fuse, surprisingly. So this is our draw right now on the milliamp scale. So we're like 10 to 12, which is like perfect for a car like this. Perfect for any modern car. Like somewhere around like the 2000, you usually get them around like, I don't know, you could probably get them down to like 5 milliamps or so, 5 to 10. But yeah, look at that. That is perfect sitting here with all these modules on this car asleep, just keeping stuff, keeping memory saved. Perfect. So now what I want to do is, I'm thinking about pulling down this B pillar right here. I think we're going to get our draw back up. And we'll pull down the trim right here. There's supposed to be a connector somewhere down around here or so. What, like right here on the interior. And there should be a connector to disconnect the whole top of the car, like the whole roof harness from down here, because I'm wondering if maybe something might be damaged. I talked to the owner and he said this is the original roof, they fixed it. So I'm wondering if there's something going on in the top, and then that'll help divide it up. So I'm going to switch this back over. Let's flip our switch here. See, our draw goes away because now it's off. So we'll put this back over here. Turn this back up to 20 amps, and you'll see we'll be down around like 1 or 0. And I'm going to put the fuse back in, and we'll put a charger on here so that the battery doesn't drain down while we're doing this. And we should be good to go. Okay guys, so you can see we have our draw. It's like 850 right now. I got the trim piece off. There's just one bolt. It's one bolt that holds the airbag on, and everything comes off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo these two, and we'll see if our draw goes away. Because I'm just curious if like maybe like something like this wire might be slightly pinched somewhere. Somebody might have put a screw through it. I don't know. I'm just trying to roll out some stuff. I've got to break this up. Okay guys, so I unplugged these two and it didn't seem to drop at all. Well, it went down to 0.74. So we still have a draw. Now what else could it be? Like we're kind of running out of options here. This is just insane. Okay guys, so I plugged the top back in. We're at 850 millivolts. My friend just sent me some information saying that the CAN network the B CAN stays awake for 10 minutes if it doesn't see the door latch close, because he said what happens is the latch assembly itself fails and then the network stays awake. So he said to pop the door panel off and check it. So I don't know if I'm chasing anything. I got the amp clamp also on the fuse right there. And we're looking at it. See, it's half our voltage. You see that? Like, look at this. Let's zoom in a little bit. Look at that. See that? We're at, oh, peak to text on. That's probably why it's doing that. There we go. See, we're at like 300 millivolts. So that's half of our, pretty much like slightly less than half our draw. So that might be why when we pull the backup fuse, because I'm wondering if the CAN network's staying awake. So I thought about plugging my scan tool in, but I want to wait the 10 minutes for this to go to sleep, see if it does, because he said it takes 10 minutes from the time the door closes. So I guess I'll just pop this panel off. He said it's really easy. He said if we just unplug the latch, it should go to sleep then. We're going to see if we can look up scan tool, look at scan data then afterwards, but got waiting to do.